Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Welcome to the call. Go ahead and state your name, where you're calling from. Love to say hello to each and every one of you.
Sunni out of Ferguson, Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas in the house. Welcome.
Dallas, Texas.
Juarez, Vivian White, Sharon, Texas.
Coach White, welcome to the call. Great to have you on, sir. How you guys doing?
Tyree calling from Dallas.
Tyree from Dallas. Tyree, you've got to meet Mr. Ferguson. They're out there in Dallas as well.
Sound like playing.
Yes, indeed. Ferguson, we knocking out Diamond, yeah? That's done.
Yes, sir.
All right. All righty. Welcome to the call. Glad to see you guys. Welcome. Go ahead and state your name, where you're calling from. Welcome to Quarantine Cathedral.
Stephanie Allen, Baytown, Texas.
All right, Baytown. Hey, Diamond, Stephanie Allen, congratulations.
Wanda from Dallas.
Hey, Wanda, how are you? Dallas is in the house. I see Dallas is trying to take over.
Winter Patterson, Houston, Texas.
Hey, Winter, how are you?
Hey, good.
Good to see you. Brand new star achiever on the way to Ruby this week. Great live, by the way. I was on there.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see you are rocking and rolling. Congratulations. Who else do we have out there?
Karen Nivens, Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Nivens. Hey, Nivens, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, sir?
I am excellent. Excellent. Good to have you on. Good to have you co-training tonight. Who else do we have out there?
Karen Green from Greensboro, North Carolina.
From Greensboro. Welcome from North Carolina. Great to have you on as well. Who else are we missing? Who else is out there? Go ahead and state your name, where you're calling from. Love to say hello to you.
Kathy Porter, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hey, Miss Kathy Porter, good to hear from you. Welcome to the call. Glad to see you. If you haven't done so, two things I would highly recommend and strongly suggest that we do. Number one, make sure you are sending out your final reminders to your group chats, to your Facebook groups, or whatever it is, your text messages, letting your team know that we're getting ready to get started here for the Monday Mastermind session. And that's number one. Number two, if you're just joining us, if you don't mind, please state your name and where you're calling from. I would love to say hello to you. I feel like we haven't seen each other in so long. And so I would love for you to come on, bring yourself on the camera, even with your rollers in your hair, your son on your left arm. Come on, come on. We're not judging. Welcome to the call. It's a home base business. There you go. Good to have you. Welcome. Go ahead and state your name, where you're calling from. If you have not had a chance to do so, please do that now.
Valley Ford, Birmingham.
Valley Ford. Mrs. Ford is in the house. Birmingham, Alabama. Welcome. Good to have you on. All righty. Who else do we have? Do I have everybody unmuted? I think we do. All righty, guys. We're going to get started in 60 seconds here, taking a final note before we get started. If you have not done so, please state your name, where you're calling from. We're getting ready to go live. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, I'm Karana Moore. I'm from Gastonia.
You're from where? I'm sorry.
Gastonia, North Carolina.
Gastonia. I don't even know where that is, but that's all right. Welcome from Gastonia is in the house. That just sounds like a diamond need to be there. Gastonia. I love it.
And a diamond is coming out.
It's coming out. I'm with you. You must be a part of that Purpose Pusher tribe.
Oh, yeah.
See, I knew it. I can spot you. Y'all talk faith over there. I love that. All right, who else do we have on? We're going to get started here in a second.
Hey, babe, you got your wife here.
Hey, wife, how are you? Y'all made it back?
Coffeelicious. Yes, we're back.
She said coffeelicious. I love it. All right, guys, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and put us in a mute format here. Tonight's call is going to be absolutely incredible. I know we have Mr. Tracy Fisher that's going to be joining us here momentarily as well. If you have not done so, one of the things that I would recommend and strongly suggest that you do is grab your notepad and your pens, your calendars as well. If you don't have your calendars, I would highly recommend you find a calendar, 8 by 8x10. You know, I love using this month at a glance calendar. Many of you know that, just to really keep me on track. Another thing that I would suggest you grab a hold of, because this is going to be so important to the conversation we have tonight. One of the things I would recommend you grab is your chart. Your rank advancement chart. What is your goal this month? Are you charting for Ruby? Are you charting for Emerald? Are you charting for Diamond, Double Diamond, Triple Diamond, Presidential Diamond, Ambassador Diamond, whatever it is that you're charting for? I want you to quickly go to your eSuite. You can download it right there from your eSuite. You can get it out of there and get your chart. We're going to talk about all things strategy today. Obviously, today is an incredible day. May 11th, I've been saying May is going to be the month of what I call, what we're calling May Mayhem. And the reason being is it's just a lot of momentum. There's a lot of things happening in an incredible way for so many people all around the country, all around the world, really, as it relates to our business. I know we've got record numbers of growth that's happening. I told you guys last month, just kind of give you a couple of things that has taken place from the month of March to April. We had a 40% increase of growth, and we were on average daily enrolling about 35 people a day, 35 to 40 people a day, but on average about 35 a day. New people were enrolling into the business, customers as well as obviously distributors. We finished off with right at 11, just under 1,100 new enrollments for the month of April, which was absolutely incredible. It was mind-boggling what took place in terms of growth. And it's really because of the synergy that you see coming all throughout the organization. Obviously, we've got so many different leaders that are emerging and developing and taking ownership for your business. And that's really the vision of what this organization is all about. And many of you hear me talk about this. It's about developing and deploying leaders. It's about developing and deploying leaders and not maintaining followers. One of the things I will say to you before we get into our topic tonight is if you recruit, or when you recruit a follower, this is somebody does not have the gumption, does not have the gall, does not have the focus to even want to become a leader. What you have just done is what I call addition. You are adding to your organization. You're adding to your group. But when it is that you attract and you bring in individuals that see this as a viable business, whether it be something on a part-time basis or something that they want to quickly move into a full-time operation, that's what I call multiplication. One thing I want to give you before we dive into the topic tonight, all things tonight we're going to discuss are about really what I call strategy, okay? And the reason being is because we're coming up on the 15th of the month. On Friday, we'll make the 15th of the month. And, you know, we look at the month in two different dynamics, from the 1st to the 15th, and then from the 16th to the 30th. And so whatever your goal is, you want to be at least at the halfway mark of that goal. That's a part of the strategy. So we're going to talk about strategy and structure tonight, but I really want to hone in on a couple of things. I was talking with Mrs. Nivens earlier, and we were talking about just that. She sent me over what her chart looks like. She says, Coach, this is where I am. This is what we need. This is who I'm working with, and this is what we're going to be doing. And so I want to kind of give you what I call the 4 types of people you're going to be attracting into your business. And the reason why I want you to take notes on this is because as this happens this month in May for you, I don't want you to get frustrated with anybody. What I've discovered, and I want you to write this down, when you start getting frustrated with your team, it is because they are not doing what you want them to do. Write that down, please. You only get frustrated with your team and with people when they are not doing what you want them to do. Nobody gets frustrated when individuals or leaders or people are doing exactly what you want them to do, okay? And what you have to learn in leadership, remember the difference between management and leadership, management comes with a guarantee of money, okay? So if you're in a job structure, these individuals that you manage, guess what? They're getting paid a salary of some sort. So they essentially have to listen to you or they're going to be without that income. It's different in leadership because leadership requires you to move people without touching them. Okay. And so I want to kind of give you four things here, four types of people. Number one, unmotivatable. That's the first of the five. Unmotivatable. We can't do anything to motivate these people. Okay. They're unmotivatable. And it baffles many of us. Why would you invest your money to start a business and join what we call the Network Marketing Witness Protection Program? Guys, in the words of Jim Rohn, I wouldn't sign up for that class. People do what people do. They're unmotivatable. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing I can say. The clouds are not going to part. The celestial choir will not sing these people into action. They are unmotivatable. That's number one. Number two, unmotivated. Okay, unmotivated. These are people, they do not have a desire to move on and create results at this time. Timing is not right for them. They've got maybe a spouse situation going on, a child situation, a job situation, a parent situation. Child, they may just be going through stuff with themselves, okay? It's just timing is not right presently. So they're unmotivated. There's no motive for action. There's no desire. Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich said, desire is the starting point for all achievement. So they don't have the desire. So you and I, we can talk to them until we're blue in the face. We can encourage them. We can motivate them. We can lay oil on them. We can do all of those things, but they are not ready at this time to make a move, and that's okay. Now, with these individuals, these are the folks you keep encouraging via your Facebook messages or through your group chats or through your text messages or whatever it is. You want to allow the environment of what you're doing and the people that you're helping, you want that environment to drip on these individuals. So those are unmotivated. Number three, motivatable. Motivatable. I love working with these individuals. These are the ones that are reaching out to you. These are the ones that are calling to you because they want it. Whatever the it is, the it may be they want, the $150 in free product credit. The it may be they want an extra $500 a month. It may be an extra $5,000 a month or $5,000 a day. They are motivatable. They want it. Okay. Now, with these individuals, the key with them is making sure that you have assignments for them to complete. We are going step by step, taking them through your process of assignments to do and to complete. You are in constant communication with them. There's just a harmony between what you're doing with them. I love getting text messages and Facebook messages and phone call. Hey, coach, this is what's going on. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Or what do you recommend with it? These are people that are motivatable. Number four, motivated. Motivated. These are your runners. These are the people on my team. Remember, there's a difference between your team and your group. You will have hundreds, some of you will have thousands of people a part of your group, but you will always have a few that's a part of your team. So, motivated. These are your runners. These are the people that they've already got their calendars booked. They've got their launch Zooms booked. They're running with you. They're putting in loyal customers daily, weekly. They are doing the thing. They're showing the plan. They're in their stores. They're on the host of posts. They're on the trainings. They're on this training call. You didn't even need to remind them. They're on this call. Why? These are motivated. They're motivated. They are running. They've already got their chart. They've got their structure lined out. They know exactly what they need. You're in constant communication with them, and they're taking action. And then number five, motivators. Motivators are people like you, or sometimes people that have more influence than you, that are getting results similar to yours, or sometimes even bigger than yours. I always say, get out of their way. Oh, I love them. I love my motivators. I love the Tracy Fishers of the world. I love the Jennifer Nivens of the world. I love the Nina Moores I get out of their way. Y'all call me if and when you need me. What do you need and how can I help? Why? because I need to get out there. I love getting out of Sunyata Ferguson's way. Nope, Mr. Perry Beasley, what you? I'm out of their way. Why? They're running their own they're running their own teams. The Viley Fords of the world, the Harmonies of they're running their own deal. And so these are what I call our motivators. They've got a team of other motivated people, other motivatable people. And here's the thing, your organization will always be constantly churning with these types of individuals. And so tonight is really all about strategy and structure. And I want you, for the purposes of tonight's call and tonight's session, I really want you to approach this discussion as if you don't know anything, okay? And I know this is very difficult for a lot of us because what happens is once you start learning aspects of the business, you'll go through a couple of phases. The first phase is I don't know anything. That phase of I don't know anything, you are green. And here's the thing, when you're green, you're growing. And sometimes when you're ripe, many people get rotten. You have to have the liquidity of thought and the nimbleness of mind to continue to grow. So the first phase is I don't know anything. And when people start getting promoted into ranks and they start getting a little notoriety, people know your name, they start cheering you on, people go immediately from I don't know anything, meaning you were extremely coachable. We were talking all the time before you put up that post, before you did that call, before we were talking. Why? Because you want to make sure that things were in alignment. But people will soon and quickly, you'll find yourself go from I don't know anything to watch this. I know everything. Oh, I got it. I know everything. I know more than him. I know more than her. I got it. I'm their biggest this. I'm their biggest leg. They need me. And what happens is this here. And I want you to write this down, ladies and gentlemen. God never pours his blessing on anything or anyone that's out of order. Nope. Never pours his blessing on anything or anyone that's out of order. I constantly am saying, God, keep my ego at bay. God, please check my ego. Help me with my ego. Why? Because when you're an A-type alpha personality, it's very easy to be like, get out. I don't need you. Get out the way. And ladies and gentlemen, because this is a team sport, this ain't golf. This is basketball. It's a team sport. You need somebody to pass the ball to. All right, you need somebody to rebound. You need somebody to give the assist, okay? And so you go from the I don't know anything stage to I know everything stage. How many of us know some people that have been in that stage by show of hands? Come on, devil, right? I've been there. I know I got it. I know how to do a call. I know how to do a Zoom. I know how to host a post. I don't need to talk to y'all. But I need to talk to y'all for. And what happens is this here. You find yourself working harder on the business and getting less results. You know why? Because I know everything. I'm talking about structure and strategy. Then the third and final phase that people will get to in the business, if they stay around long enough and can rebound and reload, you'll get to the place where you say, I realize that I don't know everything. And once you get to that place, your business begins to multiply. It's the difference between hard work and heart work, okay? Now, the reason why I share that is tonight, we're gonna give you perspective on strategy and structure. The strategy of where you are today on the 11th, many of you are so far ahead of your goal, you have no idea. But you won't understand it until you have a roadmap of how to really go from where you are today and how to multiply that result. Remember, in network marketing, 1 + 1 is not 2. Write this down, please. 1 + 1 is 11 with the right coaching, with the right alignment. 1 + 1 is not 2. I can tell you, I do not enroll 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 people a month. I don't. Why? I understand how to multiply the business. You deploy and develop. You develop and deploy. Develop and deploy. Develop and deploy. When you find yourself in the position to develop and deploy, you can sponsor one and turn that one into 100. Are you listening to me? And so tonight you're going to hear strategy of really how to take your current business of where you are right now and how to multiply it, listen to me, within the context of the It Works system and culture. It's so important to really lean into that. The It Works context and the It Works culture. So what you did in that company, what you did in that organization, what you did in that business, whatever it is you did, I promise you, when it comes to It Works, if you have not done it here, there is a learning curve that you have to go through and grow through to learn how to be effective with multiplying. So I want to turn the call over now to Mrs. Jennifer Nivens. This lady is on fire right now, her and her entire team. You'll see them all over social media, Purpose, Pusher Tribe. I'm so proud of this organization, what they're doing, how they're leading and multiplying in the organization. I invited Jennifer on to really talk about what she and I discussed offline today. And it really triggered me to say, you know what, she needs to really come talk to you guys about this because it's in complete alignment with where it is that we're growing to as an organization. Many of you, within the next 90 days, you're going to be having 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people joining your business every single day. And I want you to be mentally prepared and equipped on how to handle that type of growth. There will come a time in It Works where we are enrolling in this team here 1,000 people a day. Mark my words, you've heard it, May 11, 2020. I will send out a text with a screenshot to many of you leaders and say, hey, we just had our first 1,000 enrollment day. You're like, wow, he's multiplication, strategy, structure. So Mrs. Nivens, brand new double diamond, on their way to promoting other diamonds, other double diamonds this month. The floor is now yours. You are unmuted and the spotlight is on you.
Hey everyone. Good evening. So yes, earlier today, thank you so much, Mr. Wilkins, for just asking me to train and kind of just explain, our method and how we map out, what we're working towards. And so earlier today, I just sent him a screenshot of my chart, right, And so so he could see exactly where everybody is and where I am to hitting my goal. And I just kind of walked him through, like, so this is where we are and this is what's needed. And just kind of really explain what we do. Well, not just we do, but charting is important. You have to know where you're going, just like Mr. Wilkins said. And so you can find these charts, of course, in the eSuite, and you need to know what your next goal is. And so if you're working for Ruby, then get your Ruby structure. If you're working for Emerald, then get your Emerald structure. Whatever you're working towards, get it and print it out. And so that way you know what's needed and what you're working towards. And so then we talked about what's in the structure. And I have a presentation. I know Nina has shared my presentation once before. I did update it because we have, it's newer now. And so I think I have share screen. So I can share it, how to walk through when it comes to structuring out your business. And so whenever you go into your eSuite, and if you don't know where anybody is under your eSuite, then you can log in under reports and then go to Tree Viewer. You can also go to Organization Viewer as well. But I'm gonna share my screen, and so we can go into when it comes to how to build your business, how to chart out your structure, and to know where you're going in the business. Of course, when you first join, you automatically have your auto ship set. You want to get your first 6 customers within your first 2 to 3 days. First 2 to 3 days, get your first 6 loyal customers. And you can absolutely do that with, of course, going through your warm market and then immediately starting with the host to post, okay? And your first host to post, it doesn't have to be money. It could be one of your skinny coffee samplers that you have. You're giving away your a free 3-day trial pack of this fat burning coffee. It can be that. And so start there, go ahead, get your 6 customers. And then we want to focus on building your business. And so if you are brand new, the terminology that we say is LC is loyal customer and DT is distributor. And so then you want to start focusing on getting your structure together to go Ruby. So knock out your 6 customers ASAP, and then we're going to start building your structure to Ruby. And so this is what a Ruby structure looks like. Okay. And so if you are building out to Ruby, you need 3 qualified legs. Boxes means distributors. Okay, boxes mean distributors. And so whenever I send the chart over, whenever I send my charts over, I have the names in the boxes for whoever is where. Okay, and then so it could be your spouse, it could be, you know, somebody you met on Instagram, it could be your best friend, your cousin, whoever. You put, as you're enrolling people, you have to put their names in boxes. You don't enroll and just keep everybody, you know, where they are. You have to move your distributors as you enroll them wherever a box is needed in your structure. And so not just business partners, but as well as customers, because once you get your first 6 customers, then you start focusing on building your team, and then you help them get their 6+ customers. But I really wanted to go through when it comes to volume. Okay, so you're Ruby, right? You got your 3 business partners. You may have 4 or 5 business partners. Those 4th and 5th business partners, you're going to start building out to Emerald, which we'll get to the next slide. So you have your 3 business partners. And to finish out Ruby, what does it say here? You have 3 qualified legs, and you need at least 2,000 in volume. So you have 1, 2, 3 people in your qualified legs, and you need them to be qualified. What does it mean to be qualified? Each of these legs need to have at least 400 in volume, okay? And so that volume, of course, comes from products, comes from orders, and that comes from anything the distributors order, as well as the 6+ customers that they're enrolling, okay? So product, we, instead of saying 400 in sales, we say 400 in volume, which again, the volume is, sales is a little bit more. So 6+ customers to get the 400+. But even if, and then of course, if you are brand new, for every 2 customers that your distributor that you brought in gets 2 customers, you get $50. So whenever your new distributor so say you enrolled your spouse, when your spouse gets 6 personal customers enrolled from their website, you get in their first 30 days, but we don't do 30 days, okay? We do 3 days. You get $150 up to 6 customers, all right? And so you want to go ahead and get that 150, 150, 150. So you help them get their 6 customers. So you can make well over Ruby pay your first month, okay? Because the average here says what, 500. So now I wanted to break it down, because this is where people kind of get confused on why they need to move customers, why they need to move volume, why they need to move distributors. So you have your 3 distributors. You have your spouse, you have your Instagram person you met off a host to post maybe, and then your best friend. Now, qualified legs mean what? They have to be at least 400. But even if each of these 3 legs were at 400, you wouldn't be at this 2,000, right? So say you're building your spouse, they're at 600 volume. The socialite friend has 360. And your best friend has 267. And so as I'm bringing in volume and I'm working on, okay, where does this next loyal customer need to go? Where does this next loyal customer need to go? My team and I, especially my leaders and I, we all have our charts. And so as we bring in a loyal, it's like, okay, Jennifer, I just brought this loyal in. I see this person needs 360 and this person needs 267. You know, and so we're watching to see, I'm asking, okay, how much volume is it? All right, let's move it up under this person, the socialite, because that's already going to put them at 400. And then the best friend needs what? 133. So as you are bringing in loyal customers, it's so important to work with, you know, your plugged in upline leader so they can help you navigate on where to place volume. Because the lovely thing that I love about It Works is we can move volume where we need to. Okay. And so if the influencer friend may be at 360, but they're still working, but they aren't quite, you know, getting any fish in, and you bring in a distributor, you bring in a customer, I can move that customer anywhere in my organization for that promotion. So and no matter where they are, I'm like, okay, best friend needs 133. So I just brought in, you know, a pick 3. I'm going to move that up under. And then I've got another pick 3. I'm going to move the volume throughout my organization where I need it. So even when, okay, so the spouse is at 600, right? The socialite is at 400 now, and then we got best friend to 400. But that is still what? Only 1,400. And what do we need? 2,000. So after you have gotten everybody to qualified legs of at least 400, it does not matter after that where the volume is, okay? So you can go ahead and get, spouse all the way up, or the social, anybody can continue to enroll, but you don't just stop at getting the people qualified. You want to make sure that this Ruby, if it's you or if it's one that you're building, has at least 2,000 in volume, so that you rotate now in between who you will place that volume in. But I don't just place it up under these top 3, because why? They are building out to Emerald. So those same 3 people that we're working with, the spouse, the best friend, excuse me, it's all structured wrong. Now, they are also building out their own team, okay? And so instead of giving it to, instead of giving it to maybe, the spouse or the best friend, I am probably going to pass it down now to give it to the distributor that I have placed under the best friend. And that's fine, because that volume rolls up. So anybody, I can move the volume up under any of these 3 legs, and it's still going to roll up to those 3 legs, okay? So even if, but I could have moved that volume up under the distributor and not directly up under, the best friend who was at who needed 133. So say the best friend needs 133 to be a 400 qualified leg. All right, let me slow down. I can move that customer directly up under best friend, or I can move that customer up under the distributor. It doesn't matter. Either way, as long as that organization leg is at 400, I'm fine. And you always, if they have a distributor up under them, go with the distributor up under them and not on the top line, because now what do we need to do? We need to get these next levels at 400 in volume. And so that is why it is so important. You have to chart, because as you're bringing in these customers and distributors, you're going to want to not just have your eyes on your map on where you need to go, but your support team, your leader, whoever you're working with, they are also looking at it. And so if I see Rhonda has brought in 5 customers yesterday, I'm looking at her chart and she's looking at it, and we say, okay, this person needs this person, so put 3 up under them, put 2 up under them. And that's how the volume is able to get done, because you are all able to work together to see what's needed, and you can move volume down. Okay, so say this is Rhonda as the U. This is Rhonda's Emerald, and Rhonda's spouse could bring in a customer or distributor and move it up under them. Rhonda can, or I can. Anybody up can move the volume down anywhere in that leg. And to help, okay? Let me know if y'all have any questions in the chat and I will stop. Okay, and so another thing that I want to talk about, whenever you say, how far are you from being structured to your promotion? Structure means fully charted, means you have the distributors in place for that promotion. And so are all of these boxes filled for this person to go Emerald? No, they are 2 distributors away from being fully structured for Emerald. So that means myself, best friend, or Rhonda, we are all working to get a distributor in so that we can fill these last 2 distributor boxes. And so whenever you focus on the first half of the month, if you are pushing for a promotion, one of the big things you want to focus in on is filling your boxes, filling your organization, because then it's all out massive action for volume to move wherever you need it, okay? You want to make sure you have the bodies in place. And so if you're pushing for Ruby, you need to get your 3 business partners in place so that from now on, all the loyal customers that you're bringing in, you're moving it up under these pockets to get them as qualified legs, okay? You're moving up under these pockets to get this Ruby to 2,000 and to get this Ruby to 2,000. You don't lose it from moving. And the wonderful thing that they brought back at conference is they even gave us back that enrollership, that extra 5%. So it benefits you more to move after you've gotten your 6, to move throughout your organization so that you can promote, okay? And the more that you build, the more distributors you bring in your personal organization and customers you bring in your organization, then what? The higher your checks will be, okay? It goes off of personally enrolled. So another one is, how many distributors is this diamond from being fully structured? 4. Okay, so they're rocking and rolling. Like they could have volume, these distributors are all rocking and rolling, but you cannot finish diamond until you got these bodies in place. So you have to print out a chart. You have to fill in where everybody is. And so as you are bringing in these customers, as you are bringing in these distributors, you know where to place them. And so the first half of the month, you want to focus on, okay, I just brought this distributor in. All right, I got 2 here. My structure is, I need to get my structure in place so that as I'm doing my host to post, as I'm doing my phone calls, my live videos, and I get a customer in, I'm like, all right, Jennifer, all right, Tracy, all right, Mr. Perry, where do I need to move this to? And we are able to look at your chart and we're able to say, okay, this person needs to be moved here, okay? One thing is my team knows I got everybody's chart. I got everybody's chart. All right. And so, and charting is not hard. Okay. We can definitely do a more in-depth one. And I can share my screen and walk you through each suite to kind of look at volume and what's needed. But you want to make sure that you know what you need, where you need it. So as you are bringing in the customers and distributors and your business partners your team is, then everybody knows what needs to be placed where. And then, so now you can just focus on working because it's like, okay, this person needs to go here. This person needs to go here. You only have 3 days. We have 72 hours from the minute that somebody enrolls. You have 72 hours to move them where you need to in your organization. And so don't forget that, okay? Because you try to move them and you can't move them. You hope and pray. And we say, I totally missed this. I thought I moved it. And a lot of times they will make exceptions. If not, then give it to Miss Portia Wilkins to submit it to her business account manager, and so that they can move it for you, okay? But you want to keep an eye on, do not keep your loyal customers. If you were keeping your loyal customers, you are missing out on being able to promote so much faster. Okay, so much faster. And so and again, the wonderful thing about this business is I can't promote unless I help my team promote. And so I am moving. I have not kept a loyal customer since I got my 6. And I enroll heavy loyal customers in business. I don't keep them. I move them in the pockets of my structure on where I need it to go. Oh, okay, who's working to Ruby? All right, this person needs to go Ruby. Let me put a customer here. Let me put a distributor here. And so as it's the 11th of the month, you want to go heavy on recruiting to fill your structure in. So the last half of the month, it's all volume. Like my boxes are filled. We all work in host to post for customers. All right. And so, whenever I took the picture and I sent it over to Mr. Wilkins, I said, this is where we are currently. This is how many boxes I need filled, that we're going to finish it by the 15th. We're going to finish the structure. Okay. And then the rest of it is all out volume. Okay. And so so as you are bringing in volume, and so if you have 4 or 5 customers, it's like, okay, I'm not going to move with them because it benefits me more to get a distributor in this spot so that I can move these customers to them and start working to get that as a qualified leg. And so I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay. Mr. Wilkins, did you have any specific questions or something more that you want me to go more in depth with?
I know you covered a lot, and obviously I'm looking at the chat too to see anything that comes up. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to be as specific as we can be tonight, because we want you to leave the session tonight with a clear understanding of what you're doing to get to your goal. Okay, what you're doing to get to your goal this month. So any questions you have for Mrs. Nivens? One of the things I would say, I had a question on, Jennifer, what do you think in terms of the focus for people? Because a lot of times the question is, oh, should I focus on distributors? Should I focus on loyal customers? And I've had those questions before as well. And I've talked to several other leaders before that say, hey, we had, I think I was talking with Caesar then. They said, I think last month, April, they had 288 distributors join their team for the month, but they had over 2,000 customers enrolled. So what should be a person's focus in terms of should they focus on distributor acquisition or customer enrollment, and what's the harmony, what's the balance to doing that?
Okay, and some people may be, like heavy customer enrollers, and that's fine. Like, we need customers. Like, that is the lifeline of our business, is you need to enroll customers. And so if that is your strength, I never tell anyone, okay, slow up on that, now go with business partners. Because again, I can build with people who are heavy customer enrollers, because I know where I need to place distributors, or where I can place distributors, because I know this heavy customer enroller is going to keep that volume pushing. And so, of course, like, so say if we bring up host to post, for instance, and if you are working to get, 10 up a day, then have maybe 3 of them be business opportunity, and then 7 of them be customer, And so you don't want to go all in with one, but you don't want to also not forget one. Okay. And so, but again, some people may be heavier with, and the customers, of course, is a lot easier, or you enroll a lot more customers than distributors normally. And that is fine, because again, you need way more customers than you need business partners. So don't all of a sudden stop and say, okay, now I need to focus on recruiting and I'm not really getting anybody. That's fine. Continue with customers, because those customers can turn around and upgrade to be like, you know what, now do you want to get paid to lose weight and get paid now to drink this coffee? So don't get discouraged or hung up that, okay, I can't get my structure, or I can't get my business partners in, because of course, if you reach out to your support team, or for coaching and help with that, but also if we see you like, oh, she has brought in like 12 customers, let me drop a distributor down there, because those customers need to go to something, need to go to somebody. Okay. And so the wonderful thing is we work together as a team. So you don't have to just focus on one or the other, but if you are charting out and working on your structure, then you do kind of want to work more at getting some business partners in, because again, you cannot go any further without having the distributors in place to move those customers to, or not just move them to, but also help your distributors get their own customers and volumes to bring in.
Beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Like Portia says, secure your 6 first. Don't focus on getting no business partner until you get your 6 customers, or 6 or more, and don't just stop at 6. Continue on, but before you focus on sharing the opportunity, make sure you get your 6. Because again, if you get a business partner in and they get their 6 before you do, you don't get those fast start bonuses off of that distributor, because you didn't go and do yours. So get yours done, so that as you are bringing in that new distributor, you get your fast starts off of them. But also you can coach and turn around and help your new distributor get their customers also, because you've done it yourself.
Yeah. I love that, Jennifer. And it's right in alignment with my philosophy. You can't teach anything with any degree of authority that you have not done yourself. Okay. And so it's so important, guys. I'm telling you, when you get started, or when you get a new partner started, I know we've got a couple of new partners started. I know Miss Winter Patterson. I know Tyree just got started. And the focus is, guys, get your loyal customers first. I'm talking with Mr. Penn. Told him, hey, get your 6. I personally, and I'm not saying you should do this, I'm just kind of giving you my philosophy here. I don't do a launch Zoom anymore. I don't do any type of presentation for a person to start bringing on distributors until that individual has gotten their 6. Because a couple of things happen. Number one, it builds confidence. Okay. When they get their 6 loyal customers, it builds their confidence. That's number one. Number two, obviously, they become fast start bonus qualified themselves. Okay. They're fast start bonus qualified once they've gotten their 6 loyal customers. I think it's the first 2, but I focus everybody on 6. I don't do minimums. I'm getting you to 6. Okay. Number one, it builds their confidence. Number 2, it gets them fast start bonus qualified. Number 3, if these loyal customers are ordering, the BV or whatever it is, and it's combined 150 PBV, guess what? Now that distributor, my new distributor, is not required to spend 80 BV on ownership. They've already met their PBV, so I eliminate their overhead. You follow what I'm saying? Number 4, they get the $150 product credit. Okay? They get the $150 product credit, and then number 5, they get recognized as a star achiever. And I'm telling you right now, I know some of you, you're not really feeling a brother on this star achiever yet, but I promise you will. Watch what happens over the next 90 days. I see even the company, they're buying into Star, they're resharing Star Achiever. Why? It's a way, see, write this down. What gets recognized or what gets rewarded gets repeated. Write it down. What gets rewarded, you can use this in your marriage. What gets rewarded gets repeated. All right? You could use it in your, yeah, come on, somebody. Yeah, we grown. You can, yeah. You want him, you want her, reward him. Reward him, reward her, and it gets repeated. Don't reward it, guess what happens? It won't be repeated as often. You be out there trying to pull your hair out, I can't get, you didn't reward it. Amen. All right, bow your heads. Okay, so anyway, so those are the 5 reasons why we really move people into action when it comes to getting their 6 loyal customers. So hopefully you got that. Couple of things, takeaways on this part of the training. If you have any gray areas, and I know you will, and it's okay, I want you to get with your plugged-in coach, and we will walk you through after this Zoom the chart where you are. We'll pull up your e-suite with you and kind of help you pull your chart together. And I want you to do that tonight. I want us to meet on that tonight, get it done tonight. Most of us ain't sleep till later on anyway, okay? So let's get that done tonight so that on the 12th, you have running directions and clear instruction in terms of a path of what you need to be doing next, because you are going executive this month. You are going Ruby this month. You are going Emerald this month. Yes, you are going Diamond this month. You're going double diamond this month. Come on. You're going triple this month. You're going presidential. You're going ambassador this month. Matter of fact, people are, hey, Jared, when you and Portia going ambassador? You're worried about the wrong thing. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about when you are going Ruby. I'm focused. Why? Zig Ziglar says, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Okay? So as you matriculate through the process of leadership, what you'll understand is how to take the eyes off of you and put the vision on them. Who it is. I love what Jennifer said. She says, I've got everybody's chart. Now, she's not talking about everybody in her organization. She's talking about everybody on her team. Remember, I told you there's a difference between the team and the group. She's got their charts. Why? Because number one, they've got their charts. And number two, she's navigating and holding them accountable to what it is that they say they want to get accomplished. Write this down. People don't care about your goal as much as they care about theirs. Okay? People don't care about your goal as much as they care about theirs. I want to bring on Tracy Fisher. I know you made it on. Tracy, I know we were talking a little bit earlier about this whole strategy of growth when it comes to the distributor side of the business. So Jennifer did a phenomenal job covering the loyal customer side, driving loyal customer volume, driving growth, as well as having the structure. I want to bring on Tracy. Tracy, are you there? Come on onto the camera so I know you're available here. But I want to bring on Tracy Fisher to really talk about, you know, a lot of the concepts that we use to help a person launch their business. Not only launch their business, but the strategy that we have used for years to multiply the business when it comes to lifelines, it comes to three-way calls. And guys, I'm telling you, I told you earlier, 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 is 11. Let me give you an example. This was on the 30th of March. March 30th, she joined the business. We just kind of give you a timeline here. So March 30th, she's over in the UK, okay? March 30th, she goes into the business. I say, Dr. Shayoun, I take her through my game planning session. What's your goal? We go through the whole thing. She tells me why she got started, gives me her goal. I said, great. Here's how we're going to get there. See, as the leader, you've got to know how to navigate a person through to their goals. I hope you're paying attention. So now I set up her first launch call. She gets started on the 30th of March. On the 2nd of April, I said, we're doing your first launch call. I don't want you to have any more than 15 people on this launch Zoom. This is why do I set up a launch Zoom? Remember, I told you this last week. Exposure is everything. The fortune is in the follow-up. Work with the willing and never compare. How many of you remember I talked about that? Put it in a chart if you remember in terms of me talking about that, okay? Now, we set up her first Zoom on the 2nd. I told her don't have any more than 15. I want 15 people that are influential, 15 people that are close to you, 15 people that if you say I'm doing this, they're not going to ask a whole bunch of questions. They jump it in. Now, not everybody is launchable. meaning not everybody has the influence to galvanize 15, 20, 30 people onto a Zoom. But when you find the right people, and you'll know when you find the right person or the right people as you're communicating with your plugged in up, they'll tell, oh, that's the one. Oh, yeah, why? Remember, I walked you through the 5 different types of people you'll have on your team. So on the 2nd of the month, I told her 15 people. She texted me the night before. She had already gotten her 6 done. I said, oh, I got somebody. Remember, I don't do a meeting for you, a Zoom meeting, an in-person meeting. I don't do any of that anymore until you got your 6. Why? You need to qualify for my time. You don't have your 6, we don't need to be doing a meeting. Why do I want to have a bad example set? Okay? So we do our first meeting. Guess what she did? She didn't have 15 people on there. Everybody say, oh. She texted me the night before, Mr. Wilkins, how many lines are available on the Zoom? I said, I think we've got about 100 lines available. She says, no problem. I've got 30 people that said they'll be on. How many of y'all like that type of problem? We had over 30 people on her first Zoom. Do you see why she went Ruby in her first month and promoted a Ruby in 2 weeks in the UK? I've never been there. They put in over 100 people in their first 30 days. Why? 1 + 1 is not 2. It's 11. Fisher, why don't you come online, kind of shed some light on that, talk about concept as it relates to launching, who to launch, how to launch, the whole tap rooting aspect, and lifelines.
Hey, partner, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
You know, Mr. Wilkins, I appreciate you so much for allowing me to share and speak to our audience and all of our brand new partners. First of all, welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to one of the fastest growing organizations inside of the It Works family. My name is Tracy Fisher. I've been with the company now for the betterment of 20 months, along with my partner, Mr. Wilkins. We were able to hit some levels in the company, but it was all based on my 20+ years of experience. I've had a chance to introduce incredible people like Mr. Perry Beasley, people who had influence, Attorney Conrail Brown, which is a part of our influential team that we had a chance to introduce to the company as well. Ms. Stephanie Allen out of Baytown, who was a young lady who was very successful in another networking company, came over here, hit some leadership bonuses, and now one of the top customer people to where the company is reaching out to her because of how many customers she's acquiring right now because of her skill set. And so all of that has taken place, guys. But I will tell you this, if I'm brand new right now and I'm looking to really sponsor some new people, I'm going to give you just some things that I want you to jot down real quick. One of the things that I always recommend you do is stay in your warm market first. Talk to people in your warm market. We're doing a different strategy today as opposed to what I was used to because I came from the world of shaking hands with people, going to Starbucks every day, meeting people every single day, brand new people, shaking those hands. I came from that world in the 90s and the 2000s. Guys, this profession is so different today. And that's because of the social media aspect of the business. But I still want you to understand there are people that's in your family right now, that's in your cell phone that deserve a phone call from you. They deserve that phone call. And so the one thing that I would always tell you to do, guys, is do not prejudge. So I want you to write down in your notes, I'm not going to prejudge people in my cell phone. Write that down in your notes for me. I'm not going to prejudge people in my cell phone. So now what I want you to do is I want you to think about writing, don't think about it, but do this part. 100 people, make that list of 100 people that you personally know. And guess what? They're in your cell phones. Guys, listen, you have rubies, emeralds, and diamonds inside of your cell phone that if you don't reach out to those individuals, there has to be a fear of loss. The one thing about leaders in our profession, we create conditions in our mind in order for us to go do the action to win. Let me say that again. A leader creates a condition in their mind in order for them to go and do the action in order for them to win. So I have to create the condition in my mind. Now, everything that I do, what I want to show you guys is to do things with a sense of urgency. Remember this, success loves speed. Success loves speed. So you got to work with a sense of urgency. Now, here's what I mean by a sense of urgency. And God forbid this will ever happen. God forbid this will ever happen for anybody. If a robber was at your house and he held your spouse up or he held your kids up and he said, listen, until you talk to 5 to 10 people tomorrow, I'm going to do this to them. It's creating a condition in my mind in order for me to take action so I can win. Now, what I mean by that, guys, is this here. You got to put yourself into that thought process that something's going to happen to my family if I don't go do this exercise. Something's going to happen. So once I write down my list of names, then I want to focus on calling those individuals with a sense of urgency. Now I'm talking about people that are brand new, people that have, even if you've been in the company for 30 days, or you've been in the company for 60 days, and you haven't started calling people on your contact list, guys, listen, I'm telling you, I've called everybody. People know that Tracy Fisher's in It Works. I am not a secret agent. I'm putting it on social media. I'm calling them. They know that I'm a part of It Works. And so you cannot be in and then back out, in and then back out. No, you got to be all the way in, plant your flag with us, and I'm telling you, you're going to know the results. So now, once I make the phone calls, number one, be in a hurry. Whenever you make a phone call to someone, always understand successful people always be in a hurry. You don't have time to lollygag on the phone. What you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, you can ask them how are they maneuvering through the pandemic. Be considerate. You can ask those questions. Hey man, how are you doing? You know, how's your family doing? How are you guys maneuvering through this pandemic? Right? Now, but you also, you have to be ready to go through however they're answering that question. Well, you know, right now I've been furloughed. Well, right now the income has shifted a little bit. I'm having to shift some things in my business. If I'm calling someone that I know that's a barber or someone who owns a hair salon, I know they've had some shakeup in their finances. So I can go to that person with a sense of urgency and say this, listen, I'm running a little short on time, but I wanted to ask you this question. Listen to this. I'm running a little short on time, but I have to ask you this question real quick. Are you open right now to increasing your cash flow? Are you open right now to increasing your cash flow? That's piquing their interest to what we're about to do. Now, I don't have time to go into all of the details, but if I sent you a link, would you take a look at it today? If I sent you a link, would you take a look at it today? I'm giving you an opportunity to write that down real quick, guys. If I sent you a link, would you take a look at it today? So I send them my link, visioncarrier.com. Write that down in your notes, team, visioncarrier.com. Okay? Once I send them the link, I want to be the one to follow up with the person. I'm not going to send you the link to my website and say, get back in contact with me once you're done. That's not what you do. Remember, the man or woman that controls the conversation and the follow-up makes the most money. Remember this here. Your fortune is in your follow-up. Your fortune is in your follow-up, not the fact that you're waiting on them to follow back up with you. So you follow back up with that individual and ask them this question. Listen to this question, guys. Never ask a person what they think. You always ask them, what did you like most about what you saw? Hey, Jennifer, what did you like most about what you saw in the video? So now what I'm looking for from Miss Jennifer is everything she liked, which is positive, right? I didn't ask her what she think, but then she's going to tell me negative things. But if I bring the question to what did you like most, then she can tell me what she liked about the opportunity video. Now, remember guys, what we do is this with the follow-up. Well, here's what we do. We use the video to do our sifting. It's just like a sifter, right? If you're cooking chicken, you have flour. It's a sifter. So we're using Miss Portia Wilkins' peak interest video. It's a hot video, right? 6 minutes long. And you're letting the prospect know, hey, listen, if I send you this today, could you look at it later on today? It's only 6 minutes long. What time should you look at that video? So if they say 6 o'clock, then I want to say to them, listen, if I call you back at 6:30, 6:45, would you have looked at it by then? Okay, great. So now I have a scheduled appointment, Ms. Jennifer, to call you back. because you said you would have that video looked at. So now once I call them, I'm asking, what did you like most about it? Would you like to get more information? Now guys, here's where the key is. Listen to this. Here's the key now. You want to do what I call a three-way phone call. And that three-way phone call is with myself, with whoever you're working with personally. So that three-way phone call, the reason for it is to validate what they just saw, to get the personal testimony of their senior business partner, right? So if I'm doing a three-way phone call, if you're working with me personally, let's say for instance, guys, I don't know, I'm working with Mr. Perry Beasley. So if I'm working with Mr. Perry Beasley, when I talk to that prospect, I'm saying to them, would you like to get more information? Great. Listen, I'm working with someone who's very successful in the business. Very successful. He's one of the top executives in the company. Listen, I want you to be able to hear this, his side of the story. I want you to be able to hear exactly what I heard. I don't want you to base your opinion based on me. Okay? But I want to put you on the phone with one of the top executives. Now, he's very busy. He's very busy, but I want to see if I can get him on the phone with you. Now, the reason why I'm doing that, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm showing you how to edify someone else or to build up the credibility of someone else. That way you can psychologically remove yourself out of the way and your prospect is not looking at you and saying, Jennifer, I knew you wasn't successful. You want to remove yourself out of the way, right? And that way, Mr. Beasley can do all of your talking for you. He's going to ask the question, hey, Jennifer, listen, what did you like about it? Jennifer, let me ask you a question. Based on what you saw in the video, do you see where there's an opportunity for you? Great. Excellent. So he's going to help you close and enroll that particular person. Here's another reason why you want to use your senior business partner to help close and enroll your new partners. Well, one of the things that we're going to do, guys, is that we're going to help launch your new partner into business. So if that person has some kind of influence, maybe they're a pastor, maybe they have influence over other people, right? They're in other fields where they have that personal power. We're going to help launch that person. Now, everyone can't do a launch call. Okay, let me be clear on that. Sometimes if you're 21, 22 years old and you may not have the influence, you know, we can't do a launch call for everybody. But there are certain people who have personal power. We'll be able to do a launch conference call for you. But you have to utilize your senior business partner first, right? In order for us to do that launch call for you. Okay. So that's why I wanted to go with that, guys. So understanding how to edify, how to build up credibility, I think that's so very, very important. It's something that we do. I think last month, my wife and I, we sponsored about 5 brand new people. And one of the individuals came in Canada. And we had a chance to do a particular launch call for that particular person. He enrolled his daughter into the company as well. And so, but we had a chance to do that particular launch call for them. But here's the thing, Mr. Wilkins, one of the things that I'm learning how to do based on our new system of host to post, I'm learning that I'm acquiring new customers. You know, I put another 2 loyal customers on the books today, which for me is big, sir. I mean, that's big for me, guys. I actually sold a 3-day trial pack today, you know, because I'm really starting to understand, Mr. Wilkins, the culture of our company. And guys, this is a lot of this is about customers, right? Your business partners are going to come. That's fine. But you got to get those customers. That is so very, very important. And teaching your team how to do the same thing. Mr. Wilkins, I want to close with this, sir. You know, one of the things that I did today, guys, is I had a chance to go live on Facebook today and to do the presentation. And I noticed that I see my business partners do it all the time. I see Ms. Jennifer Nivens do it. I see Mr. Wilkins is doing it a lot. But guys, our company and this profession has shifted a little bit. Ms. Patterson, this thing has shifted a little bit for us, right? And what I mean by there's a shift that has taken place, the way I normally build is I'm going into your home. My strength is to get inside of your home and dig deep through your warm market to find your next leader. That's what my strength is. But what I'm discovering is that there's a whole nother world on social media that my business partner, Mr. Wilkins, has been trying to tell me for a long time. And now I'm forced, Ms. Jennifer, to shift. I'm forced to shift my skills. And I'm willing to do it based on my old school networking experience. I'm willing to shift. And Mr. Wilkins, I was willing to show my team tonight that if Tracy Fisher can shift, you got to be willing to shift too. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable to get to the next level in your career and your business as well. And so, partner, I wanted to throw it back over to you, but that's my take in terms of getting a person, getting into their warm market and helping them launch. But more importantly, guys, don't forget about the people on your contact list. Please reach out to them, because this company has been a blessing for me, and I know it's going to be a blessing for you and the people that you know.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate that. And you're so right. It is a shift, a shifting in the season, as it were, when it comes to our profession of network marketing. It is shifting and attracting so many different people that now, I mean, they're coming in, and what it used to take 5 years to do in terms of establishing in a certain income range in our profession, people are doing that in half the time, sometimes in a third of the time, because remember, exposure is everything. The faster you can expose people to your product and your opportunity, being ambidextrous. See, tonight, we gave you the ability and a training to be ambidextrous. You can use your left and your right hand. Your left is online, your right is offline. And I believe you're going to be able to cover more ground with being ambidextrous, just so you can reach more people, because exposure is everything. The fortune is in the follow-up. We work with the willing, and we never compare. Let me close with this story. I heard a few years ago, story is told about the acorn. Small acorn falls off the tree, falls off the oak tree, and goes into the soil and becomes a tree itself. Acorn tree, little small acorn tree, looks over to its mom, says, "Mom, I've got leaves just like you. Am I an oak tree yet?" Mom looks over at the little acorn tree as it's growing and starting to sprout out, and the mama oak tree says, "No, you're not an acorn tree, or you're not an oak tree quite yet." Little acorn tree looks at the mom, looks at the dad, and says, "Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I've got branches now. Look at my branches. My branches are as strong as yours, Mom, and my branches are as strong as yours, Dad. Am I an oak tree yet?" Mom looks and says, "Yeah, you're getting there, but not quite." Dad says, "You're almost there, son. You're getting strong. I see your leaves. Your leaves are there. I see your structures in place. Come on. I see you're sprouting out, but you're not quite an oak tree yet." A few weeks goes by, ladies and gentlemen, and a big storm comes. A big storm comes, and it's just pouring down rain. It's blowing. The winds are gusting. Never before in the history of the world has this happened. And as the wind is blowing, the oak tree bends. The leaves start shaking off, and it bends all the way backwards. And so it happens with the acorn tree. The wind causes it to bend, and it causes the leaves to fall off. And after the storm started to subside and the rain stopped, the oak tree stood up strong, shook off its leaves, straightened out its back, straightened out its branches, looked over at the little oak tree, the little acorn tree. The little acorn tree looked over at Mom, looked over at Dad, and did exactly what they did. It straightened itself up, shook off its leaves, straightened out its back, straightened out its trunk, looked at the mom and looked at the dad and said, "Am I an oak tree yet?" The dad looked back at the acorn tree and said, "Today, you became an oak tree." What am I saying? Ladies and gentlemen, you don't become an oak tree over time. You don't become an oak tree because you've got the leaves. You don't become an oak tree because you've got the branches. You become an oak tree when you're willing to endure the storm. You become an oak tree in this business when you're willing to deal with the rejection. You become an oak tree in this business when you're willing to put yourself out there. You're willing to be ridiculed. You're willing for your friends to say, oh, you're doing that little network marketing thing. I can't believe you're doing another one of those MLMs. That's when you become an oak tree, when people quit the business and you keep going. When the business goes backwards and you keep going forward. When you thought you were going to hit the goal, but things start to go topsy-turvy and the storm comes, a pandemic shows up, and you have to resuscitate your dream and resuscitate your vision to get yourself back to exactly where it is that you desire and you deserve to be. That's when you become an oak in this business. Ladies and gentlemen, this month of May, I know there are going to be so many of us. This is your month. The storm has passed. The rain is no longer coming down. I want you to shake off your branches, shake off your leaves, and step up. Become a ruby. Step up. Become an emerald. Step up. Become a diamond. Step up. Become a double diamond. Step up. Become a triple diamond. Step up. Become a presidential diamond. Step up and become an ambassador diamond. Because this is your month. You became an oak tree. Thank you so much, Mrs. Jennifer Nivens, for the training tonight. Mr. Tracy Fisher for your training tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, get back with your coaches immediately after this webinar. Let's get your chart done. Let's get you clear so you can become an oak tree. I'm going to unmute us all and we'll greet each other good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Have a
Bye.
good evening.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Hi.
So that makes mama feel bad. You don't cry like that.
I wrote together. My best friend is our fire director. So he's like our fire director.